Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Devcon. You can see him there in front of his box. We're going to go and put him outside real quick. And yes, we're going to look at this because yes, Devcon finally gets a toy. Holy crap. Legacy Evolution Transformers is alt mode, which is, if you saw the show, it's one of those things where it's like, this was impossible. And they kind of made it work, kind of. But yeah, Devcon's name there. And on the top, you have, of course, tech specs if you wanted to scan that. On the side, you have some nice shots of his robot mode, both the close-up and, I guess, full thing. And of course, you have half of the line-wide artwork there. On the bottom, you have who manufactured and what's included. And of course, on the back, copyrights, warnings, and some Evo Fusion. Again, the Evo Fusion thing. Whatever. Just gotta have a gimmick, so here, sell this, I guess. Yeah, there's instructions, which, when you look through it, you might go, hey, that's kind of familiar looking. Maybe. But anyway, Devcon. He is an Autobot who showed up in Season 2. Which one was? I can't remember what the episode is called, but it was the one where Smokescreen had to gamble to win back his friends from some space marauders or whatever. But anyway, you see him there. Nice little thing. I believe that's one thing is a gun. He had a bit of a longer gun in the show, but, you know, because of reasons, can't do that. But yeah, nice silver face there, some blue eyes, looks a little stern. He's got the Autobot symbol, some silver and blue and some bits of red here and there. You know, nice rounded off thing. Some gray, some more red. Nice looking boots and everything. Got a bit of a backpack, but nothing too egregious, honestly. It kind of makes sense why that's there, too. It works out pretty well. And yeah, if you haven't figured out, yeah, this is actually a retooling of the Studio Series Blur, of all things, which mold is much derided for some reason. I don't see the problem personally, but hey, I think this is actually, you know, even if you don't like that Blur tool mold, this is actually a pretty good one. I genuinely like how this looks. They did a lot of retooling. He's got a wider chest and everything, and just overall looks really nice. He looks a lot like he did in the cartoon. I just looked at the screenshots and everything because it's been a bit. He looks great, and some minor things here and there, just because, well, just reality. But you know, overall he looks great. I really like this guy. Of course, it comes with a couple accessories, namely his gun and two little red rocket boosters. Ignore what I just said. But yeah, of course, the gun can just, you know, peg into his hand like so. And you can also take the boosters here and, well, peg them in. There's little peg holes right there. Those can go right there. That's one thing. You know, just have little boosters so you can fly. Or you can do the Evo Fusion thing and split his leg open. But, yeah, you can do the Evo Fusion thing and just kind of, well, peg these into the sides of his gun, and I guess do something with them. Not sure what, but that's something. So you can do that if you want. It doesn't look too bad, I guess, but, you know, yeah, I personally just prefer these, you know, just on the leg. Yeah, it's parts forming, but I'm fine with it. But I prefer it like that. So that's my personal thing, but yeah. Looks great, honestly, though. But articulation, head is on. I think it's on a ball joint, but it's because of the shape of it. Yeah, besides the shape of the head, you get some degree of motion up and down and waggle and all that stuff. But it's kind of limited by his head a little bit. But yeah, you got all that. Shoulders can do a full 360, although the backpack is a little in the way of that. Outward, get that far. You do have a bicep swivel, of course. Elbows can go forward about 90 degrees. Wrists do not swivel. Waist does swivel, unhindered. Hips go forward that far, back that far, outward that far, more than the full splits. You got a thigh swivel. What was really nice was I liked how they do. I like this design of thigh swivel. You got knee bend, which is about 90 degrees, and of course feet. You do have ankle tilt, and feet can go forward a lot, and not really back though because of how it's designed. So there you go, Devcon. Now, for comparisons, here's the mold he was based on, Studio Series Blur, which, yeah, you can see huge amount of differences here. I mean, just the changes they made were like, they got rid of, you know, they changed the shape of this. These don't move anymore. The waist piece, I think that, yeah, the thighs are the same, but the shins are different. The feet are the same, though. The head's different. The arms are different. It doesn't have the big old arm kibble or anything. It does have the same kind of backpack. But yeah, it's just, they did a lot of big differences, which I think help a lot for a lot of people. So this might be a big thing. Even if you don't like this mold, this iteration might go better for you. I don't know. Of course, here he is with his buddy Smokescreen, because of course they had to partner up, because that whole episode. Yeah, you got that. They look good, pretty good together. This is the Earthrise version. I had to think for a second. And of course, just for, you know, because it's line wide, just Earthrise, Optimus. There you go. So, transforming this guy. Pretty straightforward, actually. I'll go ahead and take that gun off, take his boosters off. And, okay. Put those offside. And okay, so. Start off, take the arms, open up the back flap here. Arms are on the little rotation thing. Rotate those around like so. Make sure to clear the fin and close it back up like that. Same thing on this side. Open that up. Rotate this piece 180 degrees and close that back up like that. Now here, what you want to do is go ahead and take the legs here, take the feet and just move those like that. Open up the legs like that. Then bring up and over. So get those arms out of the way. Bring them up and over. Like that. Go ahead and get the arms way out of the way. Tab these together like so. Bring these and then bring the backpack out like that. Bring these down. There's tabs right here. They'll go in slots right there. So. And this will just close up like that. Now, the arms here, you want to bring them in. Then rotate them, weirdly enough, at a 45-degree angle because that slot is going to go over that tab right there. So yeah, 45-degree angle or more or less. Rotate that in, tab that in. Then bring this up and over the head like so. These tabs will go in these slots. I'm going to hold super in place quite yet. And then bring this panel and these tabs will go into these slots right here like so. That will hold into place much more securely. And of course, then take the boosters and make sure they're off. They're kind of mirrors of each other. Put the boosters in like that, and like that. And finally, take the gun here, and there's a peg hole here. You just take the gun and peg that in, and there you go. You've got Devcon in his vehicle mode. And yeah, Devcon here is pretty much just a flying space car thing. Yeah, again, you got the nice, kind of bit of a nice shape there. You know, got the kind of the tapered nose and everything. Got the, again, more red and silver there. That same thing. That was a fold out. It's weird. That was a fold out seat on Blur. You can actually see still has the hinge peg, but it's all molded in, so you can't actually do anything with that. You got the, hand turning the rocket boosters. Got little fins there and paint picked on red. You got these boosters up here. And generally looks pretty good. There's the bottom. It kind of, again, lifts off, the feet cause him to lift off the ground a bit, so he looks like he's kind of floating. So, a little bit of optical illusion, which goes a long way to helping making this guy look good. Of course, I guess 2 guns at the front, but yeah, for hunting more Decepticons down. But overall, it's kind of one of those, they're just kind of BSing a space car thing, but also it looks fairly close, not entirely perfect to the show, because, again, the show cheated big time. But hey, we've got a Devcon. Like, that's an obscure pull, kind of. I mean, we're kind of one-off guy who never showed up ever again after this one episode. Just, hey, we got a figure of him. And it's a pretty good one. It takes a mold that a lot of people don't really like, and apparently a lot of people like this version of it. So it's that's something. There's something weird on there. But yeah, it's great, honestly. I just like, the robot mode looks great, and the transformation's pretty simple, and then you get this thing, which, again, it's kind of a generic spacey thing, but, it's a generic spacey thing that works pretty well. So there you go. Now, quick comparison. And here is Blur, and you can see, again, kind of a lot of the similarities going on here, and just in general transformation stuff, but yeah, some simplifications. The arms are farther simplified, the cockpit stuff simplified. There's no tail fin. It's just generally you can kind of see some of the same framework overall. But I think Devcon just is less overall, not as frustrating to get all tabbed together into vehicle mode. There's that. And of course, here he is with Smokescreen from Earthrise. Again. So there's kind of, driving around the planet trying to save all the other Autobots and stuff. You want. So you got all that. And again, here's Earthrise Optimus Prime, just to give you a comparison. Devcon actually makes for a fairly bulky deluxe, for deluxe class, he's actually got a fairly bulky vehicle mode, so that's kind of surprising. But yeah. So, Devcon, if you like your obscure, somewhat obscure one-off characters, and, you know, Devcon is great. A lot of people have been wanting Devcon for a long time. He's, well, a Devcon that's not just, you know, a blatant repaint of, like, Scourge or whatever. I think that's what we got before. But, hey, this is a great figure. I still like the blur mold, but a lot of people don't. But I think a lot of people who don't like the blur mold are still going to like this one, because it gets rid of a lot of the, I guess, problems people had with the blur mold, including just the weird complications in transforming him. So overall, it's a pretty solid figure, and worth buying, I think. Again, it's great that we got a Devcon. Maybe we'll get the movieverse Devcon too. Who knows? That thing. So, yeah, I recommend picking them up. So that's it for this one. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. Check out my co-host, co-host.org/Nemesis-Prime. Check out my Mastodon. I'm at Nemesis Prime at Mastodon.social. And check out my Coffee and my Patreon. And I shall see you next time with another video review.